Holy cow. So, I've been sick a few days. I'm better. But I've done some videos from my bed in my pajamas. Well, today I decided I wasn't sick anymore because I'm a mother and there's no being sick. And you can't wait till you feel better. You just have to decide that you can't take the mess in your house anymore. And you just take a shower and you get dressed and you go downstairs and you binge on some gossip. So that's what I've done. And made a teensy-tiny painkiller. And been mean to everybody in my family. So, holy crap. Batman, have you heard about Lindsay Shiver? I mean, so the last few days I've done some videos and people will be like, what do you think about the Lindsay Shiver case? And I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? The only thing I could think of was who Lindsay Shiver might be was... Actually, I was wrong. I was thinking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Shriver, but that's Shiver, not Shriver. So that wouldn't even have worked. So anyway, I was going down that rabbit hole, which was the wrong one. So today I thought, I'm going to look up this. I do my little daily Apple News thing. I'm going to look up and see what's happening. Lindsay Shiver, who I would just like to say she's from Alabama. My hat, it says Edenton Bay Golf and No Ocean Club, because that's where I am. So Lindsay, they spent a lot of time in the Bahamas, at their house in the Bahamas. She was a cheerleader at Troy. I didn't say she was a cheerleader at Auburn. Don't get your panties all in a wad. I didn't say nothing about nothing about nothing. Shoo-wee. You seem perky. Thank you. In a minute, somebody's going to be like, did you know you're contagious? Because you're outside on your porch alone, you might give the dog COVID. People talking about COVID makes me want to do something bad to them. I don't even know what. The green note is distracting, y'all. I'm going to take it off. Put it on top of my head. Put it back here. On Monday, Lindsay Shiver, so she's been married since 2010 to Robert Shiver. They both went to Auburn, and they majored in marketing. They met in an exercise class. I would just like to say, you are not going to have to worry about me. Well, they're on many levels, but they met in an exercise class. So they met in an exercise class. They have 3 sons who are like 4 years old, 4th grade, 3rd grade. And get married, live in Thomasville, Georgia, which sounds about as... Now my hair looks bad. Now my hair looks bad because I've had it in this hat. You're the one that's been talking about COVID for 5 days. Do you see this finger? It's not the other one, but that's the one I'm thinking about. I'm not talking about Trump. There's no Trump. No, that's not news for me. I want to talk about total schmut. No one was killed, which is wonderful. So Lindsay's 36. Robert is 38. On Monday, there's this bar in the Bahamas, and it's called Grabber's Bar and Grill, which is sort of awesome. And they find a phone at Grabber's Bar and Grill, and on the phone, there are these WhatsApp messages between Lindsay, that's how you say it where we are, Lindsay, Terrence Bethel, who really goes by Adrian, which is also my name, and then this other dude named, what's his name? I can't remember, that's not important. Somebody else. And one of the burglars has this phone with these WhatsApp messages where they're talking about planning this murder of Robert Shiver. So this is on they're charged on July 16th. The defendants are charged to commit the murder of Robert Shiver. Now, what I find is interesting about this is that The mother's butt is sitting down in the Bahamas without her children, planning to kill their father. I am sorry. I realize I am honored. Would you stop? I can't take people licking their privates in front of me. It's the dog. Did she, Lindsay, let me just talk to you. Talk to you. That's like talk to you. Let me just talk to you. You will get caught. I wish you had followed me. I'm going to do a public service announcement. Maybe this is it. Do not do anything terrible because you will get caught. You will get caught. And now your butt's going to go sit in prison. And thankfully nobody died. But that's a horrible idea. Why did she do this? Why didn't she just walk away and divorce? Well, let's tune in for a little more. So, according to the Thomasville Times-Enterprise, which is basically the New York Post in Thomasville, Georgia, Robert filed for divorce after she heard she was having an affair with Adrian, aka Terrence, who I would just like to say, if you go to Lindsay Shiver's Instagram page, now mine is public. I'm a public persona, so I'm careful about what I put up there. Hers is public too. She is not a public persona. Now she's in jail, and she's probably sitting there sweating, thinking, oh my good golly molly. They are in my Instagram. They are looking at that picture of my son holding that bucket of popcorn, and darn if that Adrian Terrence didn't like the picture. And nobody knew back then, but shit, everybody knows it now. And she can't do a darn thing. She's probably used her only call to call her sister and be like, oh my God, can you please take down my Instagram? And her TikTok. She's got this one TikTok about, I ain't gonna get caught. It's like funny because she's hiding a alcoholic drink in a Yeti cup or something. But the video did not age well. Bad. Bad. So, yes, Lindsay was a cheerleader. She was also Miss Houston City. And she won, and this is sort of a big deal, she won second place in the National Peanut Festival. I bet the people that run the National Peanut Festival are so glad that she didn't win first place. And she said this a few years ago. See, you got to be careful. When you start putting yourself out there and claiming to be perfect, that's the safe thing about me. You don't see me pretending to be perfect. If anything bad happens, you're going to be like, well, we knew it. The key to a perfect marriage is having two imperfect people who refuse to give up on each other. I'm not good. Lindsay has been living the high life. And she's probably thinking, I'm going to just be Lindsay for a minute. The National Peanut Festival, she was Miss Runner-Up to the Peanuts. Lindsay has been, because I, follow her on Instagram now, she's been to Vail on a private jet. I mean, do you know that I'd like to have access to a private jet? I don't, and I shan't, because to have a private jet, I would have to do things with my body that I couldn't even tell people about. And I don't even look good enough for anybody to pay to do them. So it's done for me. There's no private jet. It's never going to happen. No. Nope. Not happening. I even looked for like a one-time thing. It's like $30,000. It's not happening. No. So Lindsay's been zipping around on a private jet to the Bahamas and Vail. That would be very difficult to not do that anymore once you had started doing it. I would just like to say I do feel sympathy towards that. And she's in these divorce proceedings. So in the beginning of April, we're talking about Lindsay Shiver, who has been charged with planning the murder of her husband, Robert Shiver. Gosh, oh my gosh. That's this woman I know who's an attorney, and her baby gets, and it is so annoying. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to do. This is like being in hell. I have Do Not Disturb on in my phone. I don't even know what to do. And again, and again, and again. You can say a lot about my mothering, but I didn't let my baby sit around and call people. So anyway, Lindsay has been zipping around on the jet, and she's, doing all this kind of stuff. Well, she has an affair. Well, the husband finds out about it at the beginning of April, and he files for divorce. Well, she has no idea, because then she's all up on Instagram talking about Easter and how, the resurrection. I mean, she's thinking, I am in deep doo-doo. Freezing and no volume. Okay, see if that works. So then she says, through her attorney, that she's been denied access to the jet, and says the extramarital affair took place with her husband's permission and knowledge. Permission and knowledge? Are you kidding me? Words are repeating. I mean, God, this is like being in hell. Okay, part 2, I'm coming on.